welcome to the Science of Mind Archives monthly Lunch and Learn. This is May 15th, 2025, and we're grateful that everyone's here. And I think our facilitator just showed up. So I am Reverend Kathy Mastriani, Executive Director of the Archives, and we're so grateful that you are here. And so if she is ready, without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to Reverend Chris Plym. She is one of the Archives Board of Directors, and she will be your expert facilitator on this journey of Ernest Holmes today.
Before we give for that, can I just give the instructions?
Yes, please.
Hola,
yes.
Buenas tardes a todos. I want to remind you that this is a bilingual, it will be simultaneous translation. Compañeros que hablan español saben cómo acceder a la traducción, se van al mundito.
This is instructions on how to use the simultaneous interpretation. Find the globe and choose English.
Also there's a world on the little world image on the bottom says interpretation. Just check and select English. If someone speaks Spanish, you will also be able to understand the translator will switch channels between the two languages. So just make sure you go into the language that you understand. And if you're bilingual, then you stay in the original audio. So welcome. All right, Reverend Chris, all yours.
Oh, thanks, Myrna. Thank you. Thank you. I'm looking at all these good people and I'm like, you didn't have any trouble getting in. I had a little trouble. It asked for a meeting passcode. So I'm hoping we haven't lost people today just because they couldn't get in. Kathy, the Zoom link that asked for the meeting passcode was the one that was sent out from your office from the newsletter, the announcement that went out today. I didn't try the CSL announcement, so I'm glad to see people are getting in though. We have a really interesting treat for you today. We have part of an Ernest Holmes radio show from 1951. This talk is titled The Wisdom of Solomon, and it's very different than most of the things that we hear from Dr. Holmes. First of all, I'll kind of give you a warning that he refers to the Lord a lot, which we would refer to it as spirit or God or mother, father, earth, whatever, nature. But he calls it the Lord a lot in this particular talk. He also has an interesting cadence, which, click the one in the newsletter, not the one in the reminder email. Thank you, Barbara. Yeah, I don't know if someone could send that out to people. It's probably too late. Darn. Anyway, his cadence is very different than some of the other talks and meditations that we've listened to. I would invite you to, really just sink into how he's talking this time. His message is still very much the same, in a different way, because this is a different message. It's about the wisdom of Solomon. He talks a lot about things like honoring the mother and father. He talks about wisdom, and from that wisdom, getting understanding, which is undoubtedly where the title of this talk came from, The Wisdom of Solomon. Talks about trust. I'm picking out some things just so you can kind of zoom in on them when you hear him go through that. So when we get started here, we're going to give you about 14 minutes of this talk. We're not going to do the whole thing because it's over half an hour long. But I would ask you to think about these two questions that we'll use for our groups afterwards. As Ernest talks about wisdom, can you think of a time in your life where you gained wisdom that came from intuition, from perhaps something that was going on around you And so wisdom was coming to you from spirit, but maybe in a different way. So think about that as he's talking about wisdom. And the other thing I would invite you to do, after he talks about wisdom for a while, then he talks about understanding. And I would invite you to think about if you had a situation where you gained some wisdom, maybe it was interaction with another person, maybe it was something that hit you first thing in the morning before you got out of bed and you went, oh yeah, or I didn't see that before. But what understanding might you have gleaned from that wisdom that you got? Maybe it was understanding of the other person's perspective. Maybe it was understanding of a habit you have. Maybe it was understanding of something you heard at your center or you read in the Science Mind magazine. Who knows? But yeah, I invite you to do that because this is a very different talk for Dr. Holmes. So without further ado, we'll get the talk started and then we'll come back and we'll break into groups. But let's hear the talk first.
Father, and forget not the law of thy mother. A wise man will hear, and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction, for they shall be an ornament of grace under thy head, and chains about thy neck. Wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets. She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the opening of the gates. In the city she uttereth her words. Incline thine ear unto wisdom, and apply thy heart to understanding. Whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet from fear of evil. For the Lord giveth wisdom. Out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. He layeth up sound wisdom for the righteous. He is the buckler to them that walk uprightly. Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. For the merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof than fine gold. She is more precious than rubies, and all the things thou canst desire are not to be compared unto her. Length of days is in her right hand, and in her left hand riches and honor. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. Forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments. For length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee. For they are life unto those that find them, and health to all their flesh. Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. My son, keep thy father's commandment, and forget not the law of thy mother. Bind them continually upon thine heart, and tie them about thy neck. Say unto wisdom, Thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman. Get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not, neither decline from the words of my mouth. Forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee. Love her, and she shall keep thee. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. Exalt her, and she shall promote thee. She shall bring thee to honor when thou dost embrace her. She shall give to thine head an ornament of grace, a crown of glory shall she deliver to thee. How much better it is to get wisdom than gold, and understanding is rather to be chosen than silver. The Lord by wisdom has founded the earth. By understanding hath he established the heavens. By his knowledge the deeps are broken up, and the clouds drop down the dew. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding. The wise in heart shall be called prudent, and the sweetness of the lips increaseth learning. Understanding is a wellspring of life unto him that hath it, but the instruction of fools is folly. The heart of the wise teacheth his mouth, and addeth learning to his lips. My son, keep my words, and lay up my commandments with thee. Keep my commandments and live, and my law as the apple of thine eye. Let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy neck. Write them upon the table of thine heart. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. Commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established. For the Lord shall be thy confidence, and shall keep thy foot from being taken. When thou liest down, thou shalt not be afraid. Yea, thou shalt lie down, and thy sleep shall be sweet. When thou goest, it shall lead thee. When thou sleepest, it shall keep thee. And when thou awakest, it shall talk with thee. My son, if thou receivest my words, and hide my commandments with thee, yea, if thou criest after knowledge, and liftest up thy voice for understanding, if thou seekest her as silver, and searches for her as for hidden treasure, then shalt thou understand and find the knowledge of God. Then shalt thou understand righteousness and judgment and equity, yea, every good path. Doth not wisdom cry out, and understanding put forth her voice? She standeth in high places. She crieth at the gates, at the entry of the city, at the coming in at the doors. Unto you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of men. O ye simple, understand wisdom, and be ye of an understanding heart. Hear, for I will speak of excellent things, and the opening of my lips shall be right things. Give instruction to a wise man, and he will be yet wiser. Teach a just man, and he will increase in learning. He that getteth wisdom loveth his own soul. He that keepeth understanding shall find good. For by me thy days shall be multiplied, and the years of thy life shall be increased. Blessed is the man that heareth me, watching daily at my gates, waiting at the posts of my doors. For whoso findeth me findeth life, and shall obtain favor of the Lord. The path of the just is as the shining light, that shineth more and more unto the perfect day. Wisdom is better than rubies, and all the things that may be desired are not to be compared to it. Counsel is mine, and sound wisdom. I am understanding, I have strength. By me kings reign and princes decree justice. By me princes rule and nobles, even all the judge of the earth. I love them that love me, and those that seek me early shall find me. Riches and honor are with me, yea, durable riches and righteousness. My fruit is better than gold, yea, than fine gold, and my revenue than choice silver. Apply thine heart unto instruction, and thine ears to the words of knowledge. Hearken unto thy father that begat thee, and despise not thy mother when she is old. Buy the truth and sell it not. Through wisdom is an house builded, and by understanding it is established. By knowledge shall the chambers be filled with all precious and pleasant riches. A wise man is strong, yea, a man of knowledge increaseth strength. My son, eat thou honey, because it is good, and the honeycomb which is sweet to thy taste. So shall the knowledge of wisdom be unto thy soul when thou hast found it. Then shall there be a reward, and thy expectation shall not be cut off. Hear counsel and receive instruction, that thou mayest be wise in thy latter days. There are many devices in a man's heart, nevertheless the counsel of the Lord, that shall stand. Counsel in the heart of man is like deep water, but a man of understanding will draw it out. The just man walketh in his integrity. His children are blessed after him. There is gold and a multitude of rubies, but the lips of knowledge are a precious jewel. So shall they be life unto thy soul, and grace to thy neck. Then shalt thou walk in thy way safely, and thy foot shall not stumble. Hear, O my son, and receive my sayings, and the years of thy life shall be many. I have taught thee in the way of wisdom. I have led thee in right paths. When thou goest, thy steps shall not be straitened, and when thou runnest, thou shalt not stumble. Take fast hold of instruction. Let her not go, keep her, for she is thy life. When a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. Better it is to be of an humble spirit with the lowly, than to divide the spoil with the proud. Better is a little with righteousness, than great revenues without right. Better is little with the fear of the Lord, than great treasure and trouble therewith. Better is a dinner of herbs where love is, than a stalled ox and hatred therewith. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. A man that hath friends must show himself friendly. And there is a friend that sticketh closer than a brother. A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, and loving favor rather than silver and gold.
Yeah, thanks, Kathy and Myrna. Yes, I saw in the chat that people had picked up that this is from the book of Proverbs, and it is. A lot of it is in section 4 in the book of Proverbs. I do not know if Holmes does continue for about another 15 minutes beyond this time. I don't know that that's the whole book of Proverbs, but if you're looking for the text, that's pretty much where you'll find all of what he was just talking about. So to just refresh your memory about the questions that we're going to discuss in our breakout groups, the first one is, he talks about wisdom a lot and how important it is. And I asked you to think about what might be a time in your life where you felt you gained some wisdom, a lot of wisdom. Doesn't matter how you define it. I'm leaving that question very open-ended, but where did that wisdom come from? And then the second question was about understanding. And perhaps what was a time in your life that from the wisdom you gained a new kind of understanding about a situation, a person, a habit of yours, whatever it might be. So, yeah, just think about where you might have gained some situation where you gained additional wisdom. We are going to break up into small groups, and I would love it when we do that. If you would just tell your group where you're from too, because we didn't have a chance to put a lot of that in the chat, but I know we have people from all over the Americas here today because we do have Spanish speakers in attendance, and they'll probably go to their own separate breakout room so they can speak Spanish and don't have to worry about us English people. There we go. So we're hoping you really had a good time with everybody in your group. And I just want to ask, does anybody have anything that's a takeaway, their own personal insight, or perhaps something that came up in the group that you'd like to share with everybody? And you can either raise your hand or actually, I know you spotlighted me, but now I can't see anybody raising their hand.
I'm checking in and then I will bring them with you next to you.
Yeah, if they use the hand raising reaction button, then their picture will come up first.
Okay.
Cindy.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. If you don't know how to use the raise your hand button, you can. Oh, Cindy May has got her hand raised. There we go.
Yeah. I'll just say it's always so much fun listening to whatever the topic is and then getting together in the smaller groups to have a more focused, if you will, conversation between folks. So my group was wonderful, and I just wanted to say thank you for doing that, for having this format. It's wonderful. And I did share I had understanding. I actually got a great aha when I was back at the archives in the gala there about listening to the words that I say. And so this was a great thing for me. Again, just another reminder that and some of the stuff that was said, keep my words near thee, keep my words near thee, trust in the Lord with all thy heart, the sweetness of the voice. It's like all that kind of thing. So just more reminders about keeping a watch over how I speak out into the world, particularly about my own worth or value, or I might say a sentence like, oh, I know it's silly to think something like this, or no, I don't need any of that. It's like, just go for it. Thank you. That's it.
Yeah, it's those little inner voices that we have. And Cindy, I really like that you didn't use this word, but I'll use it, the word anchor. When you talk about this material with other people, it really anchors it somehow, much better than you can do by just listening to it and then taking notes and you walk away. And then, 2 days later, you're like, what did I take notes on? Let me go back and look. Yeah, so good. Thank you, Cindy. Someone else have a reflection or something they got from the group or any kind of takeaway?
I do have a question.
Okay.
I enjoyed the group I was in. If I wanted to contact an individual or two in the group, how would I do that?
Well, we do not collect people's emails or information when we do these. So, in future meetings, not in this one, but when you're in a small group, you could ask the people there if they're willing to give you their email. But we don't have the information to give to you, Charlie. So,
Yeah, thank you very much.
yeah, if you have access to the chat, you can go to the chat and ask if there's a couple of people you want to get their emails. You can ask them to chat back to you directly, and then you would get their emails. Yeah, Jill put that in the chat that you could do that. Okay, other questions, ideas? Oh, Mate, we're going to need a Spanish translation here.
Sí, yo hablo en español entonces, ¿no? ¿Hablo en español?
I don't.
Reverend Chris, just one sec.
Yeah.
Lorenza and Myrna.
So Reverend Chris, you gotta go into the little globe on the bottom,
Yeah,
and then
I
it will
did that.
set interpretation, and then pick where it says English.
Yeah.
So when Maite speaks, Lorenza will be translated into English, and you will understand.
Okay.
Got it?
Okay.
Okay.
Bueno, nosotros estábamos en el grupo de hispanohablantes y apreciábamos mucho, fuimos dos peruanas en el grupo y una mexicana, y en nuestros países hay una tradición de sabiduría milenaria muy grande con respecto a los mayas, a la comunidad andina. Entonces poníamos en valor no solo la sabiduría que hemos aprendido en Ciencia de la Mente, sino también esa otra sabiduría de nuestros ancestros. Entonces era una puesta en valor de la sabiduría que muchas veces es como a veces no es eso, como que no importa, y fue muy hermoso poner en valor esa sabiduría, la ancestral, y también la sabiduría que estamos aprendiendo en esta vida contemporánea, haciendo una mezcla entre lo contemporáneo y lo ancestral para que estén juntos, permitiéndonos tener una vida en armonía, poniendo en valor a los ancestros y poniendo en valor nuestra vida en la vida contemporánea, porque estamos en otro momento ahora, pero no por eso dejamos de tener al abuelito y a la abuelita tierra, y al abuelito y al abuelito fuego, y al abuelito y a la abuelita viento, y al abuelito y al abuelito agua, como le llamaban nuestros ancestros, le llamaban abuelitos, abuelitas, ¿no? Porque los consideraban con vida y los consideraban en femenino y masculino al mismo tiempo. Entonces, esa riqueza de cómo hablaban nuestros antepasados, esa sabiduría ancestral, yo la recupero mucho y trato de incorporarla en mi práctica como practicante de Ciencia de la Mente, y creo que compartirla y hacer esta mezcla es de mucho valor, y me encantaba que la lectura de hoy pusiera en valor eso, ¿no? Porque a veces yo me pongo a medir cuánto gano, uy, gano poquito, no vale nada lo que hago, ¿no? Porque gano muy poco, y después me dicen, oye, ¿qué? La sabiduría es lo que vale, ¿cómo que cuánto ganas? Y si ganas poco no vales nada, ¿qué te pasa? ¿No? ¿Cuánto sabiduría tienes? Eso es lo que vale. Y eso me ha hecho sentir como que, bien, Maite, bien. Eso es lo que importa. Y eso quería compartir. Gracias.
Thank you, Mate. Gracias.
Hi, excuse
Will
me.
she be able
Wait,
to get my response? Will it translate for her, Myrna? Okay.
Hi, excuse me.
Yes.
Could you please tell me? I don't know how to do that with the English and the Spanish. Where do you go to do that?
Okay,
Okay.
so we'll let you know. On the bottom of the screen, there is a globe.
This
So
is
if you don't
more.
see the globe, then you can
Yeah,
say
I
more.
press
So there's
more.
two
I press
options.
more.
So more, and then you're gonna go, once you click
Interpretation.
more, there says interpretation. Then once you click there, you select English.
Thank you. Thank
All
you.
right, apologize if I wasn't clear for everybody.
Thank you very much.
So I'm going to repeat a little bit of what Mate was talking about, which was just that the wisdom from her ancestors and the Peruvian and Mexican culture is so similar to what Dr. Holmes is talking about, and how wisdom in your life helps you lead a harmonious life. And so she loved the idea of wisdom in what she's learning with the science of mind, and wisdom from her own culture being integrated. Yes, so thank you, Mate. That's a great observation. Yes, Dr. Holmes probably didn't study your culture, but he studied so many cultures that even though this was a Christian proverb, the ideas are still the same in all these cultures, is to take the wisdom from our ancestors and use it in our everyday lives. Thank you. Anyone else like to make a comment about their group or something they learned? Or
Jim Van
we're
Cleve
almost
had
out of time.
his hand up at one point.
Who did?
Jim and Emily?
Oh, Jim, did you have a comment?
Oh, I was just going to say that, the book of Proverbs is one of my favorite books. It's all about, the first 8 chapters all about Lady Wisdom, and how, and that's the feminine aspect of God. So she's a big deal, and that's why I like it. Anyway, that's it.
And our group was great.
Our group was great. You bet.
Thank you. I'm going to turn this over to Kathy because we've only got a few minutes left, and I know she likes to make just a few announcements, maybe about next month or something. So, Kathy, it's all yours.
Oh, thank you so much. And actually, I do have a very exciting announcement that is like, as of this morning, we have something new, actually old new, on our website that I want to show you, because we're constantly improving and upgrading sciencemindarchives.com. And thanks to, of course, Reverend Dr. Mark Gilbert, our wonderful web guy. We have just added, if you go to the home page, again, sciencemindarchives.com, resources, New Thought Research, our New Thought Mind Map is back. And so this is such a cool tool, and it's using the brain software. And Reverend Dr. David Alexander put this together years ago, but it's just something really fun to play with. You kind of click around, and it has, there we go. So it actually kind of starts with New Thought Origins, and he's kind of divvied it up into 4 basic ones. Ancient wisdom traditions, mind cure movement, progressive Christianity, and transcendentalism. So within a click, you can see so much. And so I say this with love. I play a game called Find Ernest Holmes, okay? And so I invite you to kind of pick one, and I will take an easy one, transcendentalism, because I have a feeling I'm going to find Ralph Waldo Emerson, but there's other ones. And from Emerson, you're going to get to Ernest Holmes, right? And there he is. And so it's just kind of, it's really kind of expanded too. So this, I love the picture of Ernest Holmes because you can kind of see all his connections in this New Thought Mind Map. And so it's just really a lovely tool to kind of look at our New Thought history. And it's kind of a new format. that we have here. So I'm still learning it too. But anyways, I just wanted to show you our newest thing. It does open in a new tab. So to get back to our website, you just go back to the website tab. The other thing is, as usual on the homepage, when you go to join us and you become under individuals, or if you have a group, if you become either a website subscription or a friend of the archives, from there you can access our audio recordings. And so you go back to home and you just scroll down just the tiniest bit, and there's our newest products. So we have Your Neighbor's Neighbor, Eye of the Beholder, and the audio prayer, Your Lord is My Shepherd. And this is what we just used at our archives grand opening meeting last night. So this is how I get the freshest Ernest Holmes prayer that we can use in our world. But I just encourage people to go to the website. The help videos are helpful. Make sure you're signed up for our newsletter, which I think all of you are. And there's a very quick overview, but I really wanted to show you that New Thought mind map because it's a fun toy to play with. Yes, Cindy.
I had a question. I saw that you had Lloyd Barrett. Is it Lloyd? No, not Lloyd Barrett.
Dr. Lloyd Barrett, yes.
Okay. You had his picture on the website, yes?
Yes.
Do you have the recording of his prayer when you did the ribbon cutting?
You know what? We're waiting. New Thought Media Network recorded and documented our whole event, and so I'm certain that they're going to be breaking out all the little snippets, but I want to hear that too, because that was such a powerful prayer that he shared.
It was wonderful. So I wondered if it was in there, and I would go and click on it because it was really powerful. Yeah, I loved hearing him again. He moved away from Southern California, and so it's nice to see him again. All right, thank you.
So I would just go to the archives YouTube channel, and there's a whole playlist called Grand Opening, and that's where we're starting to populate some of the videos from the grand opening. So I'll try to find that link and throw it in the chat. But yes, we're starting to get more and more videos from there. So check that out.
If I may add, I know the prayer is on Facebook, not through the Science of Mind archives, but through Laura Brzezinski. If you have her as a friend, she did record. It's on her Facebook page. So
cool.
And I shared it onto mine too. Nice. Any other thoughts or questions? Or, well, again, this is always our Lunch and Learns are complimentary. Please invite your friends, your communities. We're here for you. The Science of Mind Archives is here to share the wisdom of Dr. Ernest Holmes that we're preserving for you and for our entire world. Again, they're complimentary, third Thursday of the month at noon Mountain Time. So thank you so much for joining us today. I'm going to hand it to Reverend Chris to wrap up.
Thanks, Kathy. Lost my voice there for a moment. So thank you all for coming today. I think everything that needs to be said has been said. So we're delighted that you're here. We'd invite you back for next month. Different topic, new facilitator. And yeah, we enjoy seeing you all. So thank you and have a great day.